Alright, what is going on, my dudes? We are back here today with a video I am just so excited to share with you guys. We got the yellow Broncos hat on today because yellow means mutant and mutant means Omega Red. So, if you saw my Cyber Weekend opening, Cyber Weekend, July 4th, what month is it? December. Cyber Weekend opening. You probably saw I went for the 15k unit deal and picked up the Awakening Gem, alright? In my last 6-star Nexus, which came from the 4k unit offer, I pulled an Omega Red, my favorite champion in the game, out of that Nexus. When I went for the Awakening Gem, for the 3,000 units, the 18k total, so many units, I ended up with a Mutant Awakening Gem. That it was just destined to be popped right into Omega Red. However, I had an unduped Archangel at the time. After the Alliance War season, I opened 3 more featured crystals, and on the last featured crystal, I duped my Archangel. So I no longer had to make a tough decision, and I can have both Archangel and Omega Red up at rank 3, awakened. So, not only that, with all the 6 stones from Act 7 and Cyber Weekend and blah 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 blah, I'm also very fortunate enough to be able to take Omega straight up to signature level 200. Because as you guys know, Omega Red benefits from a very, very high signature level, almost more than any other champion in the entire game. So we're bringing this guy, as of right now, up to 190. We're going to go into the overflow, and then we're going to pick up the last couple of stones that we have, and then we're going to pop them right into Omega, because I can't think of anybody else who's more worthy of those signature stones. So now we have Ghost at Sig 200 rank 3, Omega at Sig 200 rank 3, Corvus at Sig 1 rank 3. Just like the 3 best champions there in the game, in my eyes, should be at. So, super stoked to have this guy up completely maxed out. And we're going to start this video off with a very convincing solo of 6.2.5 Mordo. Now, when I was going through exploration of 6.2 way back in the day, before I even had a YouTube channel, I actually did use my 5-star Sig 200 Omega Red for a couple of these Mordo fights here, and at the time, I didn't even have a 5 or 6-star Sabretooth, so I feel like I never see Omega being talked about for this Mordo, but he's actually pretty good for it, because of all that passive damage while you can keep your combo count pretty low, and hardly have to worry about Do Not Go Gentle going on. So, of course you guys know with this Mordo, there's a lot of stuff going on. There's Spite, which is by far the hardest aspect of this fight. There's also unblockable special attacks, there's Hurt Locker, there could be what is it, the special delivery on certain lanes as well. But at this point, on top of Do Not Go Gentle, we're just gonna try and keep this guy in the corner and have as much degen going on this guy as humanly possible. As you can see, I've been babbling for about 45 seconds now, and he's down to 20% health. We only have 33 hits on our combo meter, and we only have 1 of those Do Not Go Gentle things. So he has his little power gain here in the corner. He's at 3 bars of power. That's fine. We're gonna toss off a special 1, gain a bunch of our health back, and kill him. Boom! Quick and very easy solo there with Omega Red against 6.2 Mordo. So, I want to talk about this synergy team that I'm bringing along for the majority of the fights in this video. This is an unbelievable team for Omega Red, and you know, unfortunately 2 out of the 4 champions here were released in 2020. That is Guardian and Red Guardian. But let's talk about what it does for Omega. You'll notice, watch this first parry right here. Watch this. Watch how long it lasts. So why is that so good for Omega Red? Well, I think it's kind of obvious if you've ever used Omega Red. The whole thing with Omega is that you have to get a very strong start to the fight. And how do you do that? Land a parry, get as much degen on the opponent as possible, try to get to 30 spores up on the opponent before that bleed falls off. That is your mission with Omega Red. So Sabretooth is obviously that required synergy that goes along with it. And with Sabretooth, he has a synergy with Guardian, Tech Guardian, that has the first 3 blocks that you do be complete perfect blocks, which will extend the time that the opponent is parried by a great deal. And Red Guardians there, just to start up a little bit faster as well. Pretty much you start the fight with about 5 or 6 spores on the opponent, which is just really nice. By the time you finish your first heavy attack with Omega Red, you can have about 11-12 spores on the opponent, which is a really nice way to get through fights in the quest much quicker. So I was rambling. Winter Soldier was completely nuked down. I want to talk about a different team now. This is the more standard Omega Red team here. We're going to bring in Wolverine, we're going to bring in Red Hulk, we're going to bring in Void. So Void makes the death field do 10% more damage. Red Hulk will give you a spore on any well-timed block. And Colossus or Wolverine, that gives you plus 4% critical damage rating per spore on the opponent. So if you have 30, that's 120% increased critical damage rating. I brought along Wolverine instead of Colossus because there's also a 6% attack synergy between Wolverine and Sabretooth. If you couldn't tell, I have all this stuff memorized because I've been using Omega Red and his synergies for a very long time. Most of the time when I go through quests and I use Omega Red, the only team that I do bring along is Omega Red and Sabretooth. That's all you need. And Omega Red is going to be completely slaying. But as you can see, man, those yellow numbers are a little bit bigger, as well as the red numbers from the death field as well, because Void is making it go 10% a little bit stronger, and the crit damage rating from Colossus or Wolverine, and also that attack synergy between Wolverine and Sabretooth are certainly nice to have, alright? So you'll see some big yellow numbers right there. That was a very big special too, and a nice big combo as well. But you'll notice that in the end, the hit counter here isn't too much difference. The first team was 62, this one was 56. So yes, there's definitely more damage going on here. However, it's not that big of a difference. But like I said, all you really need is Omega Red and Sabretooth, and Guardian and Red Guardian just helps you start the fight a little bit faster. So we're going to go ahead and be bringing them along for the majority of the fights in this video. As you can see, right off the bat here, 1 parry, and boom. Look at this. Again, another parry. And we're already pretty much up to 30 spores before the 3rd perfect block expires. And this Crossbones in 6.1.5, the hardest boss in all of 6.1, is already about half dead. So on the CCP beta server, this Crossbone still has Biohazard. We took a combo to the face, by the way, so we can get up to a special 3, and then we could just drain his power. If you didn't know this, Omega Red has some of the most potent regeneration in the entire game. So that combo to the face is hardly even going to make a difference when we regenerate back up to 100% health here. And we also stole some of that power. So now we're back up to 2 bars of power. He is just going up in those spores. We're going to bait out a heavy attack, go for a special 2, and look at this, man. We are in a great position. Unfortunately, he did clip us with the special 1. I'm not going to lie, I did not take the special 1 intentionally. But hey, man, not the worst fight there by Omega Red. Completely just rinsing through that Crossbones. Now let me tell you something, I always have a lot of fun making these boss fight videos, going through with my new rank 3s, but this one was like an extra special treat because when I was going through 6.1, 6.2, I didn't have Sabretooth or all of these Omega Red synergies to go along, so seeing how overly powerful Omega Red is, man, when you really commit to him is just such a treat. I also didn't have the Suicide Masteries in 6.1 or 6.2, I believe. So, yeah, man. But look at this. So this is Sabretooth. What makes this Sabretooth hard? Well, no retreat, oscillate, a couple things. Actually, oscillate kind of helps Omega Red for obvious reasons, because you want to stay really close to the defender here. And when they're going to be turtling up in the corner, boom, take all that degen, Sabretooth. That's totally fine. But what makes Sabretooth hard is that the more you hit him and the more you crit and all that fun stuff, well, the more he's going to regenerate. So we're going to try and not even hit him too much here. We're going to go for the special 2, get that death field active. And look at this, man. He's just completely draining. We did this fight with Corvus, Ghost, Nick Fury, and it was nowhere near as easy as it is with Omega Red. Boom! Like it's absolutely nothing. We're just rinsing through these bosses. And yes, it's a rank 3 Omega Red back in 6.1 content, but still, guys, he is just completely rinsing them. So Up next, we're going to jump over to 6.3. We have this Nick Fury boss with Shank, immune to debuff, so we can't lock in the heavy degen, and some other stuff as well. So we can't lock in the heavy degen, so our damage is definitely going to be shrunk down a little bit here. But however, with the Shank node, that's a really, really great node for Omega Red, because every time we hit into the block, we're going to get a bleed on us. And we don't have to worry about any damage from that bleed, because as long as you have 1 point in Coagulate, you're going to be taking 0 damage from all bleeds with Omega Red. So, we're going to try and keep Nick Fury here in the corner. For the majority of the fight here, we want to keep around 25 to 30 spores on him at all times, since we can't have that heavy degen locked in doing extra damage. We want to try to keep the death field up either with the bleed or from the special 2, and also having as many spores on him as possible, and just staying near him just to you know, really lock in that damage. That's the name of the game with Omega Man. You just really want to stay close to them and be as aggressive as possible. So yeah, man, at this point, this Nick Fury is down to about 25% health. We're still above 90% health. We're going to go and save up to a special 3 here, because that's a really great way to end fights against Nick Fury when he's in his second life. This Nick Fury, I believe, is at a high sig in this quest, so he doesn't drain down in health too quickly, unfortunately, but I want to make sure I'm at 30 spores when he goes into his second life here. So at this point, he's about to go down, and of course he went a little unstoppable for a second when he transferred over, and he hit us with a medium attack, but that's really not the biggest deal in the world, because we're going to go ahead and push him up to 3 bars of power here in 1 second, have him at 30 spores, and now we're going to steal all of that power, we're going to steal all of his health and all of those spores, and watch our health bar now, man. So we're going to go ahead and put our tentacles in him. We're going to drain his life force and watch our power bar and watch our health bar. Look at that. Unbelievable regen. We regenerated like almost 50% health total, man. And we're back up to a special 3. So guess what? We can just go ahead and do it again. So really, not the worst thing there, man. Not the worst thing in the world at all. I'm trying to hit into his block so I can activate that bleed again. Very, very nice. So why do I want to do that? Because I want to get back up to about 25, 30 spores. That way I could steal even more health and more power with my special 3 again. So this is a really great way to end this fight against Nick Fury. We did get to 30 spores, which is exactly what we wanted. We are now going to go ahead and do our special 3 one more time, steal some more health, steal some more power, and wait till you see where we end up. We're finishing this fight with a full yellow bar. So I'd say Omega Red does pretty good against that Nick Fury boss. I don't know about you guys, but I'll say he does pretty good. So up next we have this Thor Ragnarok boss. Now keep in mind, he can do a lot of the bosses in all of Act 6, but after a while it gets a little bit redundant, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and show you the highlights here. So this is definitely a fun fight. This one wasn't as easy with Omega as I initially thought it was going to be, just because of the power gain and having to throw specials to negate his power gain. It sort of sometimes gets in the way of Omega Red's rotation if we have to throw special ones when we don't want to. But once we get to 15, we get rid of Prove Yourself, and we can go ahead and start doing some damage. He was being a little passive here, so that's definitely not ideal, but he is just ticking down, man. So at this point, we're really trying to bait out the special 2. We're going to try and counter it with the heavy attack, and we landed it. Very nice. Now, he has his power gain going, but hopefully he throws it, and he did. So good stuff there for sure. Counter the special 2 one more time. We're still looking good at a full yellow bar of health up there. So at this point, we're going to have to go ahead and counter that special 2 just one more time. So he's down to about 50% health here. I said to myself, all right, I'm going to get this guy up to 3 bars of power, and I'm going to throw my special 3 when he gets his power, okay? So unfortunately, we're down to 13 spores on Thor now. So we're not hitting as hard as we'd like to. So the damage isn't, ticking as fast as we'd like it to, because the spores fell off. That's the one thing that does suck a little bit about Omega Red when there's high power matchups and you can't always lock them down as effectively as you'd like to. But at this point, we have a plan. We're going to go ahead and just push him up to 3 bars of power here, have 10 spores on the opponent, and then we're going to toss off the special 3. And you guys remember what happens on Omega Red's special 3, right? We're going to toss him, we're going to stick our tentacles in him, we're going to steal his life force, and we're going to gain, how much health can we possibly gain? right back up to 100%, and we're going to drain the guy's power. So, not too bad, man. Let's go ahead and put that degen on him from the heavy attack. Watch out for the unblockable special attacks, and I want to build back up to a special 2 so I can get the death field active and I can get above 10 spores finally. You know what I'm saying? So he's down to 10% health here. We're doing pretty good again. Go for a medium heavy attack right into a special 2, and boom. Not too bad, man. And the fight at 95% health after all of that. Really not too bad. Not the worst thing in the world at all. So yeah, that Omega Red did really, really good there. So that was a lot of Act 6 bosses. He does really well against all the bosses that aren't robots. But let's jump into Labyrinth, because here's something that people forget often. Omega Red benefits from White Magneto's pre-fight ability. Why is that? He's not a hero, but he's a metal champion. You might not have even known that he's a metal champion. So actually Magneto does really well against Omega Red, just so you know, for your day-to-day life. I believe it was Munash who posted a video of Magneto soloing Omega Red and Abyss. So yeah, man. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and Omega Red definitely does not need the White Magneto pre-fight here at all. I definitely believe I could do this fight without it. I did this fight with Archangel without it, and I'd say that Archangel relies on parrying a lot more than Omega Red does. But point is, we're just going to go ahead and slay through this 1.5 million health pool Old Man Logan, and we want to see what health pool we end up at. That is the goal here. We also want to see if we can try to keep 30 spores up on the opponent the entire time. I've been rambling here for a second. We're 38 hits in, and he's already more than a quarter dead. So far, Omega Red is doing pretty good. Here's the thing with Omega Red, man. I rate Omega Red up with like Ghost, Corvus, Quake, Doctor Doom, Nick Fury. Those are, those in my opinion are the best champions per class. I just named 6 champions, that's 1 per class. And all of those champions are the best at something, you know what I mean? In their own ways. When it comes to just consistent passive damage, Omega Red is really just king, man. I mean, we are hardly hitting Old Man Logan here. We're only 60 hits in, and he's down to half health. He is just completely draining, man. Absolutely draining. Now, when it comes to mutants, there are a lot of like Colossus fanboys out there, and that's totally fair. Colossus is a really great champion. He's fun to use. There are a ton of Magneto fanboys lately. That is totally fine. I love Magneto. I think Magneto currently is either the 2nd or 3rd best mutant champion for me, behind Omega Red and possibly Archangel. Those would be my top 3. I'm not sure if I'd place Archangel number 2 or number 3. I'd probably place him at number 3. But for me, man, Omega Red, unless the opponent is a robot, he's going to be smashing them. He also, by the way, can't fight Gladiator or Hulk really, because the passive damage kind of messes him up. But if you have a Magneto present, that's great because he's a metal champion. So those two, they complement each other very, very well. So at the end of the day, I don't like comparing champions too much, saying who's better, who's worse, because I believe every champion is fantastic in their own way in different parts of the game in certain matchups, right? But Omega Red just has so many matchups that he's just so good for. He can completely avoid passive damage like thorns and other stuff as well. He's just such a great champion. But anyway, we're going to toss off this special 3. And once again, I just feel the need to remind you, you do know what happens when we toss off the special 3, right? We steal the power and we steal the health. And we want to see what we end this fight with. So watch our health bar. We're up to a full yellow bar. Oh, maxed out 100% health. Not too bad, man. And we got through Labyrinth Old Man Logan in 150 hits. That is seriously just not the worst thing in the world at all. So let's jump over to some fun variant gameplay, alright? So this is variant 3. Keep in mind, Omega Red is going to have half attack here because only tech champions have full attack. So let's imagine this Colossus has 840,000 health. Now there is that Keatonus Thorns node here. So whenever I attack him with the armor ups, we're going to gain the amount of bleeds as he has armor ups. So as long as you have 1 point in Coagulate though, you don't even have to worry about that. So what's really great about this is that it essentially means that the death field is going to be up 100% of the time the entire fight. So that's pretty cool. But also I want to try and see if I can get to like 99 bleeds here, just because like that's pretty fun, you know what I'm saying? So there's no need to ever throw a special 2. We'll keep a special 3 in the bank just in case here, and we're just letting the passive damage tick him down. Now keep in mind, again, all champions aside from Tech are going to have their attack values cut in half in Variant 3, so of course this is almost as if this Colossus has 840,000 health and we're just completely mowing him down. We ate a combo here, but not the biggest deal in the world. That's what we got the special 3 right in the bank for, just in case. We're going to counter that special 2 with a heavy attack. Now he's starting to gain a lot of armor up, so now watch the bleed on Omega Red. We did it. We hit 99 bleeds. That's so funny to me, man. That is absolutely hysterical. Just the amount of bleeds that would just destroy any champion who isn't resistant to bleed there. Look at this. Boom. Boom. Look at that. Absolutely insane. But we're going to go ahead and end with a special 3. And we're going to go ahead and see if we can end the fight with a full yellow bar. So, if you guys haven't noticed, I think that Omega Red is one of the most sustainable champions in the entire game. And this is why. Look at how we're ending this fight. We're ending this fight at a full yellow bar of power again. It's just insane, man. It's just absolutely insane. So one thing Omega Red is really, really great for is avoiding passive thorns type damage, you know, kind of like how Gambit does now with his medium attacks, his heavy attacks, I think his special 2, right? Yeah, so really, really great piece of utility there that's absolutely essential to have. If you don't have it with Omega, you need to have it with somebody. So this Electro is stun immune, so he's pretty tough. I haven't fought this guy for a while. He has a lot of increased power as well, so we're going to go ahead and just, as you can see, this guy is dying very, very fast here, and we're just trying to keep the degen on him. He's already down to 50% health. He has unblockable special attacks as well. I'm going to try and not push him the special 2, and you're going to go ahead and see why in just 1 second here. There's that Electro special 2. I really hope he doesn't throw it at a weird time. Boom! But shout out to Heimdall, man. So he's down to 15% health. We're down at 1% health. We have to be very careful here. Go for the special 2. We have to redeem ourselves here. Redeem ourselves with the special 2 evade. Boom. We're going to be good to go. Oh my goodness gracious. But that's totally fine, man. That is not the biggest deal in the world at all. Point is, Omega Red could completely slay that Electro in Variant 4. I want to say that's Variant 4. That was Variant 4. Variant 5 was the Venom one. Alright, speaking of Electros, there was a big ol' Electro in Variant 6 that came out on Wednesday, and I recorded it live. So what's gonna happen here is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to hide my face, and this was live. Alright, so we're here at the Electro in Variant 6. Lots of notes here, but it's pretty much just a very big Electro, one of the biggest in the game. The attack value is through the roof here. So we're going to go ahead, and he has unblockable specials too, by the way. So we're going to push him up there. There we go. And then if we can get another unblockable, that'd be okay, but we can't. That's alright, but we're topped up at 100% health now. Go for a medium right into a heavy attack. We have a special 2, which would be... Hopefully we can bait out one more special 1. Here we go. Medium, heavy, special 2, and that should do the ticket pretty much. The degen should handle the rest of it. Yeah. Very, very quick and easy with Omega Red. Oh my god, this is my 3rd time recording this part of the video, because the first time I forgot to put the microphone back on, and then the second time when I realized it, I forgot to put it back on again, but here we go, it is on anyway, my dudes. That's gonna be it for this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. I had a really amazing time making this video. It was so fun to go back through some old content and use my favorite champion to maul through some really fun content, man. It just makes me so happy seeing that level 200 there underneath Lethal Thos, and having rank 3 out of 5 underneath those platinum stars, all while seeing the blue border around this guy's name. Having a 6-star Omega Red is just something I never thought that I would have, let alone one at SIG 200 with the rate of how 6-star stones come around, you know? So Cyber Weekend really just felt like everything just really fell into place in like a really miraculous way for my account, man. You know, pulling Omega from the Nexus, pulling a mutant gem right after, and then still having so many mutant stones and just the perfect amount of generic stones to get this guy to 6200. It really felt like a sign, man. So it really, you know, sometimes the stars just align and boom, there you have it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, my dudes, I really do hope you enjoyed this Ultimate Showcase video. Like I said, I had a great time making it. If you did enjoy it, please do your boy a favor and drop a big ol' like. Comment what you think about Rank 3, SIG 200 6-star Omega Red in the comment section below. And subscribe if you want to see some more of these Rank 3 videos coming to you very, very soon. I'll be seeing you around.